Johnny Miller recently said about golf announcers that they've always been soft and there's only one Simon Cowell and it's him. You think that's true that golf announcers are, like they're wearing kid gloves are not tough enough on you guys?
That's funny. I didn't know he said that. Yeah, I mean, I would say something when I watch golf. I think enthusiasm's really cool, and I appreciate what everyone's doing. But yeah, there could be times for a little bit, maybe more criticism and I guess analysis. It's a tough line though. Johnny Miller once said that somebody's golf, Craig Perry's swing made him want to throw, or would make Ben Hogan want to throw up. And I don't, I think that's funny, but I mean, imagine if Craig Perry won that golf tournament that he had said that. So it's like, I think it's a tough line to walk. Johnny did the best job of anybody because everyone loves him and he's amazing. Azinger is definitely the opposite. Azinger kind of praises everybody and says that every shot is one of the best shots he's seen. And I don't know which, I know some people like one other than the other. I appreciate the variety in it, but it definitely does seem like it's probably more our fault, tour players' fault that, we don't want to hear any criticism. So it lends itself to more announcers wanting to be less critical. So I don't know. I do miss Johnny Miller's commentary. It was a breath of fresh air.
On Monday Night Football, you now have like Peyton Manning and Eli Manning and an alternative broadcast like commentating. You think they could do the same thing in golf? And who would be the guys that would be great for that?
I think they could. I think if you got like Harold Varner and Harry Higgs, I think would be two perfect people to do it. They're really charismatic. They're very funny. They obviously know what they're talking about. So I think that would be tremendous. Or if, honestly, you just put, Phil Mickelson obviously leaves is a little closer like a Peyton Manning, right? With his accomplishments. So if you had him and like another big guy, him and like Billy Horschel, maybe, I think that would be, I think anything like that is cool. I think the innovation of it is great and that people are trying to think outside the box a little bit more.
What are your thoughts on your Mad Max nickname? I've been seeing that more often. Do you like it or you prefer something more aggro, like maybe the Homa-nator?
Yeah, Homa-nator is not bad. It reminds me of the Baconator from Carl's Jr., I think. I don't mind it. The only problem with the nickname is like I do struggle with being angry on the golf course. And I was called Mad Max when I was like a young kid. So it kind of brings back a sour taste in my mouth. But any nickname's good. I think nicknames are cool and I'm not going to give myself my own nickname. So whatever people ever want to call me, I'm cool with that.
Like 3 years back, final event of the Corn Ferry Tour, you birdied the final 4 holes to finish tied for 6 and punch a PGA Tour card for the second time. Looking back, was that one of the most pivotal moments of your career?
Yeah, I'd like to say that if it wasn't for that, I would still be where I am today. But it's hard to say. That's definitely that's the coolest thing I'll ever do in this game was those last 4 holes at Pumpkin Ridge, because I knew that the whole thing was on the line. Potentially my career was on the line, and got it done there, and then haven't really looked back too much since. So that was awesome. It's you never know when your time is up in sports, especially. So it kind of felt like my back was against the wall a little bit, and to have some pretty cool success coming out of the stretch on that Friday was that's something I'll never forget.
You've called your caddy a genius. Is it just his consistency of giving you great reads, or would you say he's a full-on golf Yoda?
No, he's a golf Yoda, man. He's even a little short like Yoda, so he's got it all. No, Joe's been one of my closest friends for a really, really long time, and he's just amazing at what he does. He has really good golf feel, so he's really helpful with shots. But he also is just good at the minutia of caddying. Just the reads, the getting numbers, the idea of what we should be doing to improve long term. So I feel like we have a really cool bond, and I think it shows when we play, especially when we're in contention. I think that our communication is really clear and quick, and I think that helps me play my best.
A lot of your supporters laud how calm you are especially like, in the thick of things. Um, do you ever get frazzled by a bad shot, or do you just shrug it off and move on to the next? Like, what I want to know is, do you ever suffer on-course anxiety? Because it doesn't look like you do.
Yeah, it's weird. I do a lot, really. Like that's some I'm not very good at. But when I'm in contention, I don't for whatever reason. I need to do a better job of that on a more consistent basis. But when I'm in contention, I feel like I'm very accepting and peaceful, and things don't bother me too much. I think because I maybe know that my game's in a good spot, so there's no reason to panic. But when I'm not, playing very well, shots that are, offline or are mishit, I get really frazzled by. So it's odd when I'm in that spot though, where the tournament's on the line for whatever reason. I really calm down. So trying to make that a bit more consistent. Whether I'm in contention or I'm in 40th place. So that's kind of that's the battle I've got going on at the moment, but at least I got it at some time. So I'll take that.
When you eagle 12 during the fourth round of the Fortinet, you told Joe, looks like the breaks are evening out. Is that generally how you look at golf, that don't sweat the bad breaks because you'll get an even number of good breaks?
A little bit, yeah, but it was just even more so. It's usually him, but on 10, I hit a really good shot, hit a tree that was overhanging the green and made bogey. And he's like, the breaks will even themselves out, so don't worry about it. And so it was kind of paying back what he said to him, just to point it out, because that's again another thing he does really well, is he'll say these things that are he can convince me of. So now all of a sudden it was in my head that we were owed one. And I do believe in that. I think the golf gods are, they're devilish, but I think they are fair long-term. So I do think that we can, all the good bounces and bad bounces have to even out over the course of time.
Max, you missed the cut in 5 of the 7 majors you've played in. What's the plan to change your fortunes this year on the biggest stages in golf?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I think I got to do a better job of treating them like any other tournament as far as my preparation goes, and not overdo it. But I don't know. We talked a lot about it before that the Open Championship, which was the last one of last season, where I finally did make the cut and played some pretty good golf. And it wasn't anything drastic that we changed by any means. It was just chilling out a little bit and not freaking out. I don't know. The game's getting better by the day, so I don't expect that that percentage to stay where it's at. And yeah, so just gonna. Fortunately, this will be my 3rd Masters I'm playing in April. I'll be my 3rd or 4th PGA, so I think I'm starting to get at least a little bit of experience and comfort being at those tournaments. They are different. They're built up. There's no pro-ams on Wednesdays. Like, it's just slightly different week. So I don't know. Just gotta get that ball in the hole a little bit faster.
Which major do you think you have the best shot of winning?
Yeah, I think it's that one. I think it's that one. Obviously, I haven't made the cut yet, but it just fits the way I play golf. It fits the ball striking aspect. It honestly, I would say I'm a streaky putter, but it is such a hard place to putt that it actually kind of balances out the putting stats, oddly enough. And I don't know. It just seems to fit long irons, iron game. But that's kind of the thing that I'm the strongest at it. That's the strongest part of my game. I mean, so it's got to be Augusta, but I don't know. It's heavy. The tournament's heavy. It's a lot going on and a lot of pressure. I guess I think that's why I haven't really played well in it yet. So hopefully, with a little bit more experience and comfort being at a place like Augusta National, I can be able to share a glass of wine from a cup like you just showed me.
Representation matters. Before Tiger Woods, golf had a representation problem. How do you think it's doing now? And how important is it that you're representing golf for young Jewish kids looking for a role model in the game at the highest level?
Yeah, I think it's cool. Golf is getting Tiger's obviously the king of this, right? Tiger broke down a ton of walls, and he did so in amazing fashion. So I think it'd be hard for anybody in any sport to do what he's done, like he has for golf. But for me, it is cool. I mean, and for all these young kids out there, player, not young kids, young guys playing on the PGA Tour. We have this youth movement, which is making a lot more kids want to get into the game, kind of like Tiger did for us. And yeah, my Jewish heritage is funny. There's not a lot of Jewish athletes out there that I could think of. I could think of about a handful. So it's nice to have something unique, and hopefully anything that'll bring more kids to play the game of golf, or people in general to play the golf, I'm very excited about. So hopefully that's hitting home with some people.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Max. That's all I have.
Thank you. Have a great day. Take care.
All right.